Warning, this episode contains adult language, mature situations, orphan protagonists, surprisingly supportive families, misconceptions, and manga news. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. Spiraken Manga Review, episode 534. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review. I'm your host, Zan. Say konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope you're excited for another fun-filled episode of this awesome podcast. You can find it at www.spiraken.com. We're also on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, Twitch, X.com, and of course, Bluesky. Just type in SPIRAKN. I guarantee you find us one way or the other. And, well, let's get to it, shall we? Because I'm excited to talk about this podcast and get to some of the cool releases that came out this week. So, if you remember from the last episode, I spun that one that only the Wheel of Manga, and it dictated on me that I'm reviewing a manga that was written by Otsuji and published by Ichijinsha, or released over here by Seven Seas Entertainment under the standard Seven Seas Entertainment branch. This was released in Comic Pool magazine. Original release was 2020. It's still coming out to this day. There are 5 volumes, and the series is not complete yet, but there's some in sight. It is a josei series that is a comedy, historical, slice-of-life series that's original title was Ibiti Konai Gibo Tujisha, or it is known simply in English as My Stepsister and Stepmothers Aren't Wicked. This is an interesting twist on the standard Cinderella story of an orphan who moves in with her stepmother and stepsisters, and things go wrong. The premise of this is that our main character, Mia Nakamura, she is the illegitimate daughter of Mr. Konokura, who we don't never find out about. Apparently he died years ago, and her mother just died. So she is moving in with her father's actual family, the step family. And that is the mother, Teru, the eldest daughter, Marika, and then there's the second eldest daughter, Arisa, she's the baby. And she moves into this new family with the expectations that since she's the illegitimate daughter, things are not going to go well for her. You know, she's literally the bastard of the family. So she walks in, and the first thing that immediately happens is that her 2 new sisters see her and say, "Oh my God, you smell so bad. Your clothes are so ragged. We're going to fix that." And in most stories, when they say, "we're going to fix that," this means that someone is going to be punished, or they're going to throw her in a well or something. But no, they actually grab her, take her to the bathroom, and immediately give her a luxurious bath. And then they say, "Oh, well, these are so old, so we're going to put them into storage for you, but we're going to get you some nice, neat clothes that you're really going to like." And that nice, neat clothes is what we're going to do. And they are pampering her, and they're treating her like a doll. She's like, "What is this about?" But they're excited because they now have a little sister. And when the stepmother shows up, she's like, "Okay, good. You're taking care of her. Well, we have to make sure she's perfectly healthy and looks perfectly great because she is a part of our family now, and we should be really happy." And Mia's like, "Wait, what?" The whole thing is her family is actually super nice and supportive, but they all have resting bitch face, and they all look really serious and really mean. And that's what this manga is about. Every single chapter is essentially, I'm the illegitimate daughter, here's what happened. So it starts off with the bath. And then it goes into them getting clothes for her and also nicknames. And first off, she's like, "Oh, thank you, Marisa-sama," and Arisa-sama, like, no. You called me Sama? How dare you? Don't call me Sama. I'm your Oni-san. I'm your big sister. And then I was like, wait, but I'm the big sister too. All right, how about this? She'll call you Ane-san and me Oni-san, and it works out. And then the mother's like, "Well, you shouldn't be doing that." And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, mother dearest." "Oh, don't call me mother dearest, and don't call me mother. Your mother was your mother. She raised you and took care of you, and you should never forget that. Instead, call me mommy." And so she's like, "Wait, what? You call you mommy?" And she's completely perplexed, but Mia goes with it. And she's got to deal with all the crazy people in this family. And this is how it escalates. It keeps going on, moving from her learning about this to them actually teaching her how to eat correctly, because she's from a very poor family, so she doesn't know how to eat with silverware. And some of the food's a little too rich for her. So they say, "You know what? Oh, the food's too rich. Well, you know what? We'll cut it into tiny pieces so you can digest it easier. And we'll get you more bland food so it'll work out. Then eventually you can eat elegant like us." And then, "Oh, your bedroom, you need a room. So we have the perfect storage room for you." And it sounds like they're going to throw in a storage room. It's like, "We're going to take all your father's books, put them in the storage room, and then we're going to clean up the library, and that's going to be your room." And then when they clean the whole library up, we find out that Marisa is a book nerd. She loves reading funny books. And then Arisa's into more dramatic series. It's kind of a play with those two. But it's them dealing with that. And then once everything is clean, after Mommy shows up to fix the situation, she's like, oh, this won't do at all. There's still dust in the air. And she's like, did we forget to do dust? It's like, no. The dust has to settle. You're going to sleep in the awesome guest room. And then after that, tomorrow we will finish off and you'll have this room all to yourself so you don't get a sore throat. And Maya's like, wait, okay. So she's now in a better position than she was before. And she has a family that is treating her absurdly well, even to the point of pampering her and being considerate about her old heirlooms. It's a really nice change of pace to the standard. They're the evil step family. We hate them. They hate us. It's a very nice change. At the end of the first volume, not to spoil too much, but a family member of hers from her mother's side shows up, and it hints that she might not be the best person possible. She may have an agenda. So it's showing that her old family may have been not the perfect people that we thought they were. I mean, it made sense because her and her mother lived in a house with rats and moths. So there's that. But the series is a unique twist on the genre in a way where you wouldn't expect it. And I've got to say, it's one of those ones where, I don't know, it just did something a little bit different. Recently we talked about My Happy Marriage, and that is a story which deals with the Cinderella issue with a more abusive family and a one which is truly horrific, and this is a nice change of pace for that. Now, the art style is the same as usual. It is that stereotypical, how to put this politely, it's a stereotypical josei, shoujo, big eyes, super beautiful clothing, looks really elegant series. There are a few chibi moments, especially with Marika, whenever she's reading her books, are being silly, or when her and Arisa are fighting. But and Mommy being just completely weird and crazy, like her looking super elegant and mean, and then her eyes open in a huge smile as she talks about something random like, oh, you're having a sleepover? You're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to be throwing pillows at each other and talking about boys, which is really odd. But it is something a little bit different. So art style is great. There's only one volume out right now. There should be more coming soon. But I showed this to Greta. Greta thought it was a nice change of pace. She loves happy stories, so she loved that it was happy. She still likes My Happy Marriage better, but for me, this is just a refreshing change of pace, even though it is the same joke over and over again. I will say that, and that's a little frustrating. So for all these reasons, because of the art style, because of the refreshing take on it, and the even though it does have the change of pace, I'm going to have to give this our second highest rating of borrow from a friend and don't return unless offered Pocky. It's really unique and refreshing and different. This is one of those ones you could show someone who likes shoujo series, and I guarantee they will enjoy it. It's uplifting, it's fun, and it's just, if you have siblings, you'll get this 100%. And that's my thoughts on it. Now, if you've read this, let me know your thoughts. You can email me personally at Xan, that's Xan at Spiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. Let me know if you enjoyed this or didn't enjoy this, if you've read this or not, if you want to read this. And before I forget, let's actually get to one other thing, which is the question of the day. So the question of the episode is going to be, what is your favorite adaptation of Cinderella? Do you like the standard Disney-fied Cinderella? Do you like something a little more contemporary? Do you like My Happy Marriage? Do you like the one with Hilary Duff where where the mom is the mom, Stifler's mom, Jennifer Coolidge, where she's the mom? Or did you like one of the other ones? Let me know. Email me, xanspiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. And with that in mind, actually, let's get to something kind of more fun and different. We're talking about the manga releases for the week. We've got a lot of them that came out this week. So let's start with the first one, which is Tomahawk Angel Volume 1. Yeah, I know. Tomahawk Angel. Sounds badass and crazy. Don't know what it's about, but it looks pretty cool. Then we had 2.5 Dimensional Seduction Volume 8. Black Clover Volume 33. Black Knight Parade Volume 1. Blue Blocks Volume 7. Classroom of the Elite Volume 8. Let's Buy the Land and Cultivate in a Different World Volume 5. Like a Butterfly Volume 3. Loner Life in Another World Light Novel Volume 7. Maiden Abyss, the official anthology, Layer 5, Can't Stop This Longing. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Farfner the Recluse, Volume 3. My Girlfriend's Child, Volume 3. My Hero Academia Team Up Mission, Volume 4. My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness, the Special Edition Hardcover Edition, which looks really nice. My Pancreas Broke, But My Life Got Better. My Special One, Volume 4. No Longer Allowed in Another World, Volume 4. One Piece, Volume 104. Queen's Quality, Volume 18. Reborn as a Space Mercenary, I Woke Up Piloting the Strongest Starships light novel, Volume 7. Revenge, Mrs. Wrong, Volume 1. The Elusive Samurai, Volume 9. This is Screwed Up, But I Was Reincarnated as a Girl in Another World, Volume 9. Who Made Me a Princess, Volume 3. And then last and certainly not least, we have Hellsing, Second Edition, Volume 1. They've re-released Hellsing. It actually looks a lot better with the new cover. You actually have the Japanese on it instead of just being Hellsing with nothing else. And that was the releases for this week. We've got tons of great ones, tons of weird ones, and a lot of ones which are just kind of mediocre. But for me personally, the top 5 for this week, let's show them, are going to be Black Parade 1, which is Black Knight Parade. Unique story that seems very dark and emo. One I want to check out. There's Elusive Samurai number 9. This is the latest one in the story of the Hojo Shogunate and the revenge our prince is getting now that he's actually learning some new skills. You have Made in Abyss, the official anthology, Layer 5, which is the 5th anthology of Made in Abyss. And if you've not read or seen this series, it is fucking crazy. It starts out so wholesome and then gets so dark so fast. Eventually we're going to review this. It has been on the wheel 5 times. It never comes up because I think it's just a cursed series, but anyway, I digress. We have the latest of the Nabi series. We're talking about My Pancreas Broke, My Life Got Better. This is repercussions for My Alcoholic Life, the disaster which happened with that, where she had such a bad pancreatitis that they said she was going to die, but then she lowered her numbers, so I'm guessing that finally the alcohol got to her. And then last but not least, we have Revenge, Mrs. Wrong. This looks like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith story that could be well done or could be horrible. Anyway, I digress. So those are my choices for this week. Let me know your thoughts on which ones you thought were the best and which you thought were the worst. So before I go any further, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who are watching or listening to this podcast. You guys are awesome, and every email I get, every new subscriber, every comment I get gives me more motivation to keep doing this podcast. I want to keep doing it until an old man who's reading manga with thick glasses and, well, large print manga. And as you can tell, because this is No Shave November, I got my beard going and I'm getting a little old. But you know what? We're going to be kick-ass and I'm going to keep going as long as I can, because I've been doing this since 2008 and I'm going to keep going till at least this podcast is 50 years old. I'm going to keep updating, keep motivating, and keep making it awesome. So if there's anything you'd like us to do, let us know. Email me, zanspiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. We do have a Patreon. I am overhauling it with a couple of new steps, so stay tuned for that. But with that in mind, let's actually get to everyone's favorite part of this podcast. And what are we talking about? We're talking about that one, that only. The Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, accept no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. What I've done is I've sent a manga title to each of the 10 slots. So we're going to spin the Wheel of Manga. Whatever number it lands on, the manga that's in that spot is what I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review episode. Well, we're at 535. It's been quite some time. Can you believe it? 535 episodes of this podcast. Crazy. But anyway, I digress. Let's spin and see what we're going to review in the next episode, shall we? So in the next episode, I'm going to be reading This Is Screwed Up, But I Was Reincarnated as a Girl. Seems pretty generic. It's probably the same thing as usual, but we're going to find out how it goes. But anyway, hope you enjoy this episode. As usual, I am your host, Zan. I am Gonzville. Catch you guys next time, and keep reading manga. See you later.